the trauma word kept coming up.
Yeah.
Not just from you, but from your mom, your childhood.
Yeah.
When did those traumatic like chapters start? Was it from as
When I
early
was
as
a
you
kid.
can remember?
Yeah. This is one of the first times, like, I never spoke about this. Again, I blame it on being British because that's like the culture over there. But like, I just never talked about it. And like, my mom went through something very similar, and her mom didn't believe her. And so, yeah. So when I was a kid, my parents are amazing. I love my parents, but they always want to fix the wounded. You know, they're just one of those couples, and they're amazing for it. And they want to save lives, and they want to help people that are going through mental health struggles and XYZ, right? And so like, but one guy in particular, they had brought in, and my mom would always tell me and my brother, these bedtime stories, and we would act them out and stuff like that. And she got a little bit busy, so she kept sending this guy up to do it. And I was really young. This is like the 90s, and I was born in 92, so I'd be quite young, right? And instead of acting these out, he would do just awful things to me and my brother. Right. And there was a few times that I'm so thankful that me and Zach, even though it was awful, we're in this together, because there was times where he would get the guy, he was in my bed, and he would get the guy to go to his bed to like protect me. It was just it. And so like, yeah, it started early with that. And then the wonderful thing is my parents believed me. You know, and I only just talked about it recently.
Yeah.
I opened up to me and my brother opened up to each other at 30 years old, finally. And it felt amazing because I felt like it affected a lot of my life. And then Zach, my brother, ended up talking to my parents. I still haven't talked to them about it. But they did say, my mom texted me and she was like, I will always believe you, Rhea. It was like really sweet. And I was like, that's it. That's all I needed. And I don't need to talk about that anymore. But I am talking about it now, because I put it in the book, and it's crazy, the statistics, just how common it is for kids to go through something like that. And it's really, really awful. So now I will be shouting it from the rooftops because I want to help people, you know, because it can affect your mental health. Of course. Later on down the road. It's really bad. So that's when it first started, is when I was a kid.
I know you and your brother have always been super close and have gone through wrestling, home stuff together, like you just mentioned. That moment, and I you can tell me when it's too much or we don't want to talk about this, but I can't imagine being however old you were and that feeling of seeing your brother protect you when it might have meant putting his own self in danger. When you guys talked about that recently, what was that conversation like? I mean, I know you thanked him, hugged him, told him you loved him, but like...
Actually, I wasn't in front of him when we had that conversation. He was back in England, and he has really bad mental health. And when he gets low, he gets really, really low. Yeah. And so I always want to be there for him as like someone that he can talk to, express his feelings, just be there for him in general, you know? And he gets so bad that mental health is so important to take care of. And because I see it firsthand, my brother can get so low, it can be so debilitating on his body. He ended up in a wheelchair for a little bit. Wow. That's how physically like intense. Yeah, that's how physically intense mental health can be, right? His body just shut down. He couldn't walk. He's fine now, but now I'm just trying to make sure I'm there for him all the time. So we had that conversation on FaceTime, and oh my God, we were just sobbing our eyes. Like we were sobbing. And I just realized just how grateful I am for him that he just kind of took some of the bullets for me, you know, as much as he could, because he just like, I'm his little, I mean, there's only a year between us. We always were like twins growing up, you know? But still, it was just like, just thinking about it and like talking about it. Cause when I was younger, I didn't realize what he was doing, you know, but now I'm just like, oh my gosh, like he's a hero, you know? Yeah. And he like did those things to protect me. And it was just, he's just an incredible person.
Is that part of the book, that story?
It is.
Why was that specifically something you wanted to hit on?
Because, again, that's something that I want to help people with and like bring attention to it. Because again, the statistics when it comes to childhood abuse is extremely common. It's awful. And like, you know, my parents should never be blamed for it. It's not their fault, right? They put their trust in somebody. And unfortunately, it wasn't a good guy, right? But there is I do want it to be a learning thing for people too. Like, you know, they read back and like if they had kids, just don't trust them with people. Like, I would be fucking like psycho with them. But no, I want to bring attention to childhood abuse. I want to help save kids. I want to like everything that I've gone through from the start to the finish. I want to help people. Again, I don't want people to feel sorry for me when I was a kid. I'm good. I promise you, I'm good. I'm healed. Like, and you know, I just really want that to be in there so people can really fucking understand that this shit happens in the world. Especially, it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy. This shit happens to you, and it's fucking awful, and it needs to be talked about. It needs to be friggin'. These motherfuckers need to be like taken down. You know what I mean? So I'm
fired up just listening to you talk. It's you're being authentically yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
In the best way possible, because it's not just helping you, but it's helping other people.
Exactly. That is the most important thing. That's the most important takeaway I want anyone to take away from the book. I mean, Raya, she's one of my peon ladies over there, but she read it and you cried twice, right? It was just very, I want people to feel something, happy, sad, whatever it is, but I want them to be touched by it. And I want them to walk away and think about it. And I think people are going to be thinking about it, and they're going to be more conscious of what's going on around them and what's going on with people, and like be more caring to people too, because no one knows what anyone's going through. And we, especially our generation, we're like so good at fucking hiding that shit, you know? And like, I want people to be out their shell more and fucking talk about it more and like talk to people. Like, so yeah, this book is mainly about that. I'm rambling with this kind of stuff, but like,
it's all good.
I get really excited because I want my book to do something special, you know, for people. I want people to feel something and help people. That's all I care about.